So now let's jump into how narcissists abuse the system. And so with this one, what I'd like to talk about is what you will typically see happen. And what you'll typically see happen is that you will see multiple delays in court dates due to last minute filings. Narcissists love the element of surprise and throwing you off kilter. And so what you'll see happen is, there'll be a last minute filing, or you will see that the lawyers are going through a rotating door. My ex had 5 lawyers. I've heard of 9 for some of my clients. I've heard of so many situations where you will see that the lawyers are going through a rotating door, and every time they go through a rotating door, the narcissist will ask for a 2-month extension, 1-month extension, so that the lawyer can come up to speed, and the judge will grant it. What you'll also see is last minute filings with new information, things that you've never seen before, and things that they want you to process right in the moment and make a decision on. What you need to understand is that usually when this is happening, a narcissist is trying to hide something that they don't want you to catch. And so I teach my clients techniques on how to address any new information introduced in court with specific language and specific ways of requesting things from the judge, so that you can make sure that you are not blindsided by the new information that is being filed and not being asked to take a reaction in the moment, or take an action or a decision also in the moment. What you'll also see is false information, lies, incomplete or inaccurate information. Things that are completely made up, show up in court documents. And it'll be up to you to catch those. You'll also see a document overload or underload. So either they won't produce anything, or they'll produce so much that your lawyer bills will go through the roof like a rocket, because there's so much wasted information that they will produce. Just as an example, when my ex had to produce credit card bills, he produced 3 years of credit card bill for a credit card, where the only charge was a Netflix, $7.99 charge, or $8.99, whatever that cost is. And each statement was 4 pages. And when you produce 3 years of it, so 4 times 12, which is 48 times 3 years. So that's almost 150 pages of documents that my lawyer was reviewing and charging me for. Guess what? It's extremely expensive review of information. Okay. What you'll also see is that, and this is something again that nobody talks about, but the narcissist, sort of causes these smear campaigns. So they'll go and talk wrong things about you to your friend. If they were cheating, they'll say that they thought you were cheating. They pretty much mirror what they have been doing onto you in your social circle. So this tends to isolate you. He pretty much told our common friends who were his friends before we got married, saying, hey, I don't want you inviting her. So essentially, along with the divorce, which is in any case extremely isolating, and fills you with anxiety, I found that my friends got divorced too. Very few of them stayed, and those were the true friends, but majority, 90% of my social circle dropped off, because he put those conditions and made them choose. And because, of course, they were friends from his undergrad, it was an obvious choice that, they chose him. And even though I had relationships with their wives for 18 years, they unofficially behind the scenes said, hey, if we can help with anything, let us know. But I suddenly lost, me and my kids, we suddenly lost the entire social circle that we had in Atlanta, where we were living for almost 18 years. Right. And so I want you to understand, they play on your mind in multiple different ways, and you need help to be able to understand the spider web that you are stuck in. And I hate to use that word, but you're literally the fly in a spider web where things are coming at you from all directions, and you need help from someone who's been there, who's not as emotional as you are right now, to be able to understand what you're stuck in. And why this is a problem is because most lawyers have no idea of how a narcissist behaves in court and outside court. And because there's so much information out there on the internet and Instagram, theoretical psychology on narcissist behavior that we all, read up on, it gives a false sense of confidence to us as well. That combined with the grief of losing your marriage puts you at a disadvantage because you think that you are aware of what's going on. You think that you already know that he's a narcissist, and so you know what that means. But the reality is you don't. Because even though there is so much common knowledge on what a narcissist does in terms of behavior during a marriage, there is hardly any information out there on how a narcissist behaves in court, and more importantly, what you should do about it. What you also need to understand is lawyers only get paid if your case drags on. So, what that means is that they have very little incentive to try and shorten the process. So, if they see that the X is not producing documents, for example, they'll go and file another motion to, for him to produce documents. Well, guess what? That motion cost you $4,000, right? So, what you need to understand is that that means not only an emotional impact on you, but also a financial impact. But that said, again, there is good news. And the good news is that you can address it just like so many of these other women are. But what you need to understand is that traditional approaches do not work for narcissists. And so you need an expert who can help you to connect the dots, not just someone who helps you heal, because healing doesn't pay the bills, but also somebody who is able to understand the financial, the legal, the parenting, and the planning, the strategic planning portion of a narcissist divorce, and help you to pull that entire story together so that you can get the outcome that you want from your divorce. And I have hardly seen anyone out there, because I looked during my divorce, and that's why after my divorce I've come back to helping women with this. But again, these are testimonials from my clients who are working with me in my coaching program or my one-on-one program. And they talk about how I think outside the box with remarkable results for the clients. Another one, talking about how my ability to comprehend the legal system and prevent the hidden agendas that spouses use when they're hiding assets is knowledge which is not learned in law schools. It's basically from experience of dealing with it firsthand. And I want you to know that this is something that even lawyers don't get, because lawyers don't get money. Despite what we think that a lawyer is a financial expert as well, and they're not. The only money they understand is how to bill you. Another one, talking about how, early wins, that the motion to not pay her child support was denied in court because of the way that we worked her strategy for her. Talking about the insight and the messages and the mindset that you need to have while divorcing a narcissist, because even though you may know what a narcissist is supposed to be behaving like, when you actually see it in person, it's very different. And then one of my other clients saying how I need to be on every divorce team because my information is priceless. And this was really sweet of her to say. But I wanted to share this because I want you to know that there is a solution out there, and I'm going to talk about that in the ACE method that I come to next. But again, this was another client of mine. She actually came to me only for a consult because she was at the end of her divorce. And think about it, she's nearing the end of almost a 2-year divorce. And she says, I didn't understand the process or my rights. She felt lost and completely out of control. This is after 2 years of going through a narcissist divorce and working with a lawyer. She's more confident in dealing with the legal system and clear in what she wants and needs. Of course, wanting the best outcomes, because I have been asked so many times that, hey, why don't you just go ahead and work with the work with the lawyers, and you can help them. And I don't want to be associated with a lawyer. I want to be a neutral third party, because lawyers have an incentive to continue billing you. I have an incentive to get your divorce done as quickly as possible, to shortcut the process and save you thousands, to prevent post-divorce abuse for you and your children, for you to ensure that your narcissist ex is not able to use your kids after divorce to be able to continue harassing you, and to ensure that you are able to start living the life that you want while you are going through the divorce. Because remember what I told you in the beginning, a narcissist divorce typically takes 1 to 5 years. And you don't want to be stuck in a narcissist divorce for 3 years just waiting for it to end and for your life to start. All my clients, all my clients within 3 months are living their best life ever now. Yes, there is pain. Yes, there is grief. Yes, there is, there is the stress of going through a divorce, because obviously there's another party on the other side, but they're no longer blowing money like it's coming for free from the feds. They're no longer have their life on pause or on hold waiting for the divorce to get done. They are living their lives now, and it shows on their faces when people come up to them and say, in 4 weeks, in 5 weeks, what have you been doing? You look so much at peace. You look so beautiful. You look so confident. You look so different. That is what I want for each and every one of you. You don't need to be waiting like I did for 2.5 years for your divorce to end. And so again, I'm going to call each one of you to action. If you're ready to take action, if you're ready to see the kind of responses and the kind of results that so many of my clients are seeing, book your breakthrough call. I usually charge for my consults, but for every one of you, this is my Thanksgiving gift to each one of you. This is my way of giving back to each one of you. Book your breakthrough call, talk to me, and see how you can transform your divorce. Okay? Because this is the best gift that you can give yourself in the holiday season.